Hi everybody, I'm here going to do my very first YouTube craft video, and this is the card that I'm going to be showing you how to make. It's using the Bee Crafty Banksy stamps with one of the Inkable templates, Inkable templates. We've got the bark background here, but I'm actually going to be using the crackle. And if you have a look on this panel here underneath, you see that we've used one of the other Inkable templates to create another background. So we'll put that to one side and we'll get started. So what we're going to need, first of all, blank card. Now, if I just pull that back in, this is done on a 6x6. You can actually make it any size or shape you want to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a 7x7, she says, thinking it's a 7. I think it's a 7x7. Yeah, that's going to be a 7x7. So for this one, what I've done is I've cut a black layer 16.5 centimeters by 16.5, and the red layer 16 by 16. But what I'll do is I will give you all the sizes in, where is it, the box at the bottom there somewhere. And I've cut all my layers ready, because the last thing you want to do is see me cutting paper. So this is just to give you a breakdown on how I do it. Now again, the layer behind the image here, the ribbon strip for want of a better description, again it's just another layer on a layer. But what I've done for this is, rather than use 2 full strips, I've gone with a small piece, because I've got a small piece left. So once that is stuck on there and that is stuck on there, we've still got our full strip. So, and it's all hidden behind the image. So I'll move this to one side and we'll get started on the background. Okay, so we've got our red layer, and all we're going to do, place the regular dots Inkable, and for this I'm taking the Deco Art tinting base. You give it a shake, mix it up, and then all I'm going to do is work with what's in the lid. So want very little on there really, and because it's a bit bigger I'm going to need to move the template, but I haven't got to be fussed on this middle bit because that's going to be covered up. Now if it was the same size as the piece of card that I'm using, I would tape it all down, but because I've got to move it, not going to bother. So line it up, and as long as it's an ish, I'm happy. You can see I've not had to put any more. You could use gesso, anything really that will give you your white dots. So Dilutions paint actually would be brilliant. There we go. And just the last corner. Because this is what it is, a gesso chalky based colour, I'm not going to have to worry about getting that wash straight away or my sponge, so that can just go to the side. We'll do that at the end. Basically I don't clean up anything until the end, but I would rather tell you that it's alright to leave it if it is. So that won't take a minute to dry, so I'll leave that. I am going to tint the edges, but I want to wait for the white to dry totally first. So give that a wipe off. And this is just a full sheet of the material that they use for the templates, and it's a perfect surface for me doing painting etc. on. Right, okay then, let's work on this centre panel with the image on it, and I'm going to start off by just taping my bit of card down, only because I'm a bit heavy handed and I shall likely move it. And it's only really a quarter, it's not even a third, about a quarter of the panel that we want to put the green on. So just use a little bit of this Gorilla masking tape that I've liberated from Bill's garage. So I'm going to take Forest Moss Distress Ink, just put a bit down, and I'm just going to work it in to my sponge tool. There we are, and I'm just going to bring it in from the sides and then from across the top, and that's it done. Pen's alive. And from that I'm then going to add the texture. So I'm using the Crackle texture background, the big one, and with the same ink I'm just going to go over the top of that panel, because putting an extra layer on, it will still show up. So there we go. And there you go, Crackle background. Just such a nice stamp to use. So from that we're then going to just flap that off, spin that round. I'll give that a wipe because I don't want to get the green onto the blue bit. I mean, look how nice that just comes off so easily. He'll be looking for it later. Right, so we'll anchor that down, and we will anchor. Right, do you know what I'm going to do? Because if I start blending blue off that green, it's going to be lovely. You can see the colours I've used. I just love doing this technique. Stamping over with the same colour works a treat. Now we've got to put our, let me just bring this back in. Moonlight, sunlight, call it what you will, light. And I can't find my circle punch anywhere, but I found a little round sticker. So it's not very sticky because I can't think what I even took it off. So we'll pop that down for as long as it'll sit there. Get rid of the rest of that green. There we are. Gone. And then I'm going to take the Stormy Sky Distress. I'll probably need a bit more than that. And again, pull that in. And then just again, you're almost just tickling the edge. And I think that we're gonna need just a little bit more. But that's why the blending mat's so good, because all the ink you pick up, it stays on your sponge till you use it. So you don't actually waste anything. There we go. A bit of cloudiness, some dusting. Yay. Yeah, happy with that. Take that off. Look at that. Proper job. So I'll take this away. Get rid of all the masking tape. It goes on for a while, so just stick it on my mat and keep that there. So there we are. That is our main focal point there. So what we need now is our image. And I'm using the same as we did before, the Hope from the Bee Crafty Banksy range, inspired by Banksy range no less. And I'm going to use my Memento ink Tuxedo Black. It is my preferred ink of choice when I'm wanting black. So inked that up, and we're just going to pop her just slightly lower than the horizon line. There she is. Ain't she beautiful? Now the balloon, I'm going to use worn lipstick on the balloon, because I don't have a red here. The red's up the shop. And I'm going to just pop a black pen over the tail. Hopefully it'll work. I'll just wipe the edge off that. And sorry if you got my head. So there we go. That's just about how I wanted it. What do you reckon? Now you could, if you were inclined, take some of the colour out of here. I haven't got any of my pens to hand. Tried to be organised with it being my first video and everything, and having everything handy. No, didn't work. So you could, I suppose, just water brush it out. And I'm just looking in front of me. No, there isn't one. Right, no, she's staying as she is. That's it. So what we're going to do now is stamp a border across the centre. So I'm using one of the borders from the Style Wire border set, which is this one here. Look at the state of my cards. Mind you, then again, look at the state of my stamps. There you go. Style Wire borders, and I'm just going to use this dotty one. So again, inking it up with the Tuxedo Black, and that, again, if you excuse my head please, is going to go across the join. There we are. a little bit of black up, and because it's almost essential, you have to do a little bit of doodling. So I've got my Zig Writer, which I love as just a doodling pen. I could use my Millennium, but I've only got the thick one handy, and I just want some fine lines. So can't beat a bit of doodling. So I'm just going to go right round the edge. There we are. And if you got empty space that you think, I don't like it, I just need to put something in it, doodle. Doesn't matter what it is. Pretend you're on the phone chatting to somebody and just doodle. It's quite therapeutic, really. There's so much you can do. In fact, I might do a bit of doodling for my next video, because it's something that I think a lot of people would like to do more of, but lack the confidence. There we are. Now you'll see that, to me, has just added that extra little bit. Yeah, like it. Right, okay, so what we'll do now is we'll move on and we'll work on the strip that goes down the middle. So again, that's our strip of card that fits our piece perfectly. So all I've got to do with this is just colour it with the same green that I did the other bit. Now, because it's all got to be coloured, I don't really want to be anchoring it down. So there's going to be a bit of faffing around while I manipulate it. So if you'll just bear with me. So there we go, down the one side, spin, spin, straight down the other. Because a lot of this is going to be hidden, in fairness. But until you actually build it up, you don't know what's still going to be showing. So you have to do the whole thing, unless you're one of these that can visualise where the end is. And there we are. As easy as that. Don't ever be frightened of your distress and blending, because it's only a bit of paper. It don't matter. If it's wrong, turn it over and do it again. There we go. Get that out the way. Because what we're going to do now is a bit of blending through the template. Oh, hello, boing. But that made your all jump. It made me jump. Right, so I'm going to use another one of the Inkables, and this is the Harlequin set. But all I'm going to do, pop it on. I don't want it to be exact, so that'll do. Taking the same green, and I'm just gonna blend through, just making sure I use up the ink that's on the sponge. Now there, look. So any ink that you thought you'd wasted, it's still in your sponge. Now I know I'm not going to be using the bottom bit, so I'm just going to pop that back on and go through there. Did I say bottom bit? I meant the middle bit. There we are. Now that just as a background. Do it full size, you know, to have it as the main focal point for your card. It just looks fantastic. So there we are. That's that bit done. So now we want to be thinking about putting it all together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it all stuck together. So there's focal point, strip, there's my background, and my layers. Again, do I give you the sizes for the layers? Because if you're not doing a 7x7, it's irrelevant. Let me know. Tell me, do you want sizes? And there's all my little bits. So, right, I'm going to get on and tape it all up. And I will come back to you in a minute. Bear with. And we are ready to fully assemble. This is going to have some 3D foam pads on. Right. Some people belt and braces it and put loads and loads on. Me not so. Because with these, it ain't coming off. So, I've assembled this. That's ready. Ooh, a bit close, aren't we? There we are, that's better. It's from when I knocked it, isn't it? Right, let's peel the tape off. Ooh, come on. Here, boy. That's it. And then I'm going to do it sideways because I can use the spots as the line. And then if we take the back ends off these pads, I always think it's watching paint dry doing this. And then so there we are. Now, because it's a bigger card, it'll take quite a decent message. So, yep, I have decided to do a message. What possessed me, I don't know. You'd think first video I'd try and make it a bit easier, wouldn't you? So, I'm using the Time Flies message. Now, that is purely because, for me, doing this, it hasn't. It's just a little bit of irony, I think. So, again, black memento. Give it a good inking. And we're gonna pop that into the centre. There we go. So there we are. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. There we go. Cracking saying, I reckon that. And just for a bit of speed, rather than messing with the tape, I'm just going to use a bit of wet glue. There we go. And because I'm thinking this is the best place for that, I'm only going to need to put foam pads on this side. So we'll go on that, on that. And that, we'll say, is that project finished. So I hope you like it. I hope I didn't waffle too much or go off piece too much. I sort of enjoy doing it really, which for me isn't, it's not normal. I talk to myself out in the greenhouse. Doing it in here is really weird. So anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like it, please give us a thumbs up thingy. That's it. So we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.